medical advice. This isn't the first time that these companies have faced recalls. In the past as well, both Everest and MDH products have been withdrawn from international market due to contamination issues. And news, of course, once again coming in of Everest MDH masalas being withdrawn and recalled from Hong Kong as well as Singapore markets. And shifting focus now to TV9 Network, which is tied up with LivPure to raise awareness around clean drinking water through its initiative, Swachmeva Bharat. Now, LivPure, a popular Indian brand, has registered an impressive 60% consolidated revenue growth in financial year 24, contributed by water as a service, which registered about 80% growth last year alone. Now, to talk more about the brand and the Safe Water initiative and what it really means for the company as well as for us here at TV9, we're joined by Rakesh Kaul. He's the Managing Director at LivPure. Sir, thank you very much, Mr. Kaul, for taking time out. I'm going to first begin with your business proposition. You've registered about 60% growth. It's a staggering growth rate. Comes on the back of water as a service product portfolio. Talk to us about what is constituting your growth drivers, what are your growth drivers this year, and what are your projections for financial year 25?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I think 23-24 was an unprecedented year for us in terms of, we achieving growth levels of about 60%. It was primarily driven by an anchor category called water. So we're trying to, relate to the Indians, billions of Indians, how they should consume purified water and what are the various ways of consuming purified water, because the penetration of electric water purifiers in India is just to the extent of 7%. And so there's still 93% of the households which still don't have purified water. Those 71% of Indian households, the tap water has already reached them, but the quality of the tap water most of the time doesn't come from the municipality, so you have always challenges around the water quality as such. So water as a product and water as a service has given us the staggering growth. These are our anchor categories. So we have tried to solve the problems of the Indian consumers by giving them water as a subscription, which is kind of an unheralded approach in this industry so far.
That's very interesting. Yeah. What do you mean by water as subscription?
So, we saw that Indians have a lot of challenges in terms of consuming water purifier. There are various sources of water. You have a boiled water, you have some filtration at the spot of the, tap, and you also have a lot of bottled water which is available in the market, the source of which is not really fine. You don't even know whether it constitutes the right minerals which is necessary for the healthiness of the body. You don't even know. And besides, there's a lot of people who come to your apartments in your gated communities, they pull out these jars and then you have to put over the tumblers time and again, and it's not really cost efficient as well. And when you own an electric water purifier, every year you have to pay almost 40% of the acquired price of a water purifier in terms of the annual maintenance contract, because given the quality of the water in India, your consumables go bad within a year. So we solved the problem of the Indian consumers and told them you don't need to own a water purifier. You don't need to buy water from unknown sources, whether it's jars or mineral water, so-called mineral waters from the market. We'll install a water purifier absolutely free of cost at your home. And it's an IoT water purifier which can actually solve all your problems. You leave all your problems to us because you don't even have to invest in any annual maintenance contract. We'll put the water at your home, install it, connect on your app, and you can opt for all the choices, whether you want to have 1 month subscription, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, at the ease of the button and at your choice. So we give Indians the choice of having purified water at no extra cost. You just have to pay your monthly subscription or an annual subscription, whatever you choose for. You leave all your worries to us. Even if you migrate from, say, for example, from Bangalore to Delhi, we'll even ship the water purifier at no extra cost and put it at your Delhi house as such. So it's a great concept. The consumers does not have to worry. No issues on privacy. You don't have to call for the water guy from the water jar guy next door to you. You just have to be. So we have just removed the problems, and we have acquired more than 70% share in this water as a service.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and we believe that the next millions and millions of people who will come and consume water in India, purified water, we believe that water as a service will have a great role to play in that.
Okay, and what's your current market like when it comes to water as a service? Could you give us an estimate, and which are the geographies which are likely to see more interest in this concept?
So currently we are operable in 19 cities across the country for water as a service. Though water as a product, we are available in more than around 1,600 towns across the country. So in these 19 cities, we have launched water as a service for the last 3 years now. We have acquired consumers to the tune of 2.5 lakh consumers, and we believe that this is growing at a rate of around 80% every year. So Indians are actually changed. So we are making the Indians change the way they consume purified water. And currently we have a 70% share of this water as a service market, what we call it. And I believe it actually solves the problems of Indian consumers and makes their lives much more easier.
Okay. Moving on from water as a service to your product portfolio. Now, we all know that Indian water purifier market is booming like nothing else. A CAGR of over 17% expected up until 2029. With that in line, what sort of product portfolio do you have planned?
Absolutely. As I told you that, 93% of the households, Indian households, still don't own an electric water purifier. So there's an immense, catch up to do for many
a
lot of potential to do it. So you need to have a right combination. And hence what we've done is we have also changed and revolutionized the industry recently by launching something called water as an embedded service.
Okay.
So we launched a water purifier called Elura, which is a 10-stage water purifier, where we are telling the consumer that you don't have to worry about the service for next 30 months because the service is embedded in it. So here we are gain market share through by giving consumers an ease of usage and just taking away his problems of service completely to us. So building on this huge range, we have a huge range of products which are going to come in the next 2 years, and we are confident of gaining a mid 15 to 16% market share in this category.
All right, and I also quickly want to talk about your expansion plans, because we saw that you're looking to expand in Eastern market and you're spending substantially, a 70% added marketing expenditure. What are the geographies that you're currently present in? You did talk about that you're present in more than 1,600 towns. What are your target geography areas in the upcoming years?
So we are present across India. We are present across e-commerce channels. We are present across the general trade channels, the modern trade channels, virtually across the entire India. So as far as the focus is concerned, we don't have any specific focus area. We believe entire India has the problem of not getting right purified water, and we want to give them water purifier solutions and all the home solutions associated with it. So and we have a service infrastructure which boasts of creating more than 600 franchisees across the country, which services more than 100,000 calls every month, so to say. So we are ready for the kind of unprecedented growth which we have leveraged for ourselves in the coming times.
All right. And as far as financial year 25 is concerned, we have just kick-started the year. Now, there are a lot of factors that actually go towards Indians choosing a water purifier, or whether they should choose a water purifier or not. A lot of factors, including environmental, cyclical, like monsoon, will also play an impact on sales figures, your bottom lines for financial year 25. Tell us, what are your expectations for this year?
Typically, the water purifier market is largely non-seasonal, but we do see a lot of spurt happening during the summer months and the oncoming of monsoon season, because the quality of the water gets further deteriorated and a lot of waterborne diseases also come. So we are ready with our TV campaign, which will get launched in the middle of May, and to be ready for the monsoon season. And we believe that given the forecast that it will be adequate monsoon this season, so I believe that we have all the arsenal ready to reach out to millions of our consumers through our new products, which are going to be launched subsequently as well.
Okay, and since we are on the topic of safe drinking water and how it's not cyclical and you would want more people to consume more water, talk to us about this initiative that you've tied up with TV9 for, which is the Swachmeva Bharat. What is the plan? What is the purpose?
I think we are excited. So when the concept of the Swachmeva Bharat came to us, it heralded another new initiative from LivPure and also with TV9 about how do we reach out to the billions of Indians and make purified water drinking more democratic. So this process, this Swachmeva Bharat entails reaching out again to millions of Indian households through usage of water. How can we reach out to more households through water? So that's where this initiative has really kicked a storm. And we believe that this can really, democratize the drinking of purified water amongst billions of Indians.
Okay, and when we talk about safe drinking water, what are the existing gaps, Mr. Kaul, that you think that need to be filled by the government, of course, by the private players as well, in partnership with each other? What are the current existing challenges to a safe drinking water habit that an Indian must have going forward?
So while the government has initiated regulation measures, which are the BIS measures, which will be implementable from November 24. Given the fact that the quality of the water across India, across various pin codes and states is of different nature, so I think the government and the industry needs to work together to understand that what is the kind of specifications for each of these territories would require, and how a universal usage of technology can actually help in ramping up the sales of the electrical water purifiers across Indians. And Indian government can help the industry, in reaching out to more towns, more tier 3, tier 4 towns. As electricity gets penetrated across towns, as tap water reaches to 100% of Indians' households, we believe that we can also be there to, with our purified water solutions as such.
Okay, and you've also expanded to kitchenware for that matter. Run us through other offshoots of your business apart from water.
Yeah, I think we had an exciting opportunity given the fact that water purifier is an integral part of our kitchen. So we always believed that we had the consumers calling us, why don't you launch the products in the kitchen space? So recently, 5 months back, we launched our large kitchen appliances range, starting with kitchen hoods, hobs, and all the dishwashers, built-in ovens, food waste disposers. And we believe that, LivPure as a brand has a right to win in kitchen space. And we wanted to extend the ease of usage and the making lives of consumers easier through our water purifier, through our kitchen products as well. And we had a fabulous launch, and we have great growth plans for this category in the coming times as well.
All right. Have you seen a lot of excitement in the kitchen space?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just don't want to enter into any category just because we have a distribution setup. We want to enter into each category like a larger kitchen appliances, which you can actually make a difference to the lives of the consumers. So what are the challenges in kitchen? High noise, so we launched low noise chimneys. We launched energy efficient chimneys. So we are actually going to solve the problems of the people and the consumers at kitchen by making our products more relevant to what his or her requirement at this point of the time is.
Okay, and before I let you go, Mr. Kaul, one last question. Does bottled water perhaps make for the obvious next synergy for LivPure? What's in line for LivPure? What are you preparing, gearing up for this year? New products perhaps that you could share with us here on Newsline?
Yeah, of course, as I told you, water as a service continues to grow by 80% odd. So I would say that the growth what we achieved last year, we'll continue to look at the same growth this year.
Okay.
Again, through water as a service, as more Indians moved out of the concept of subscription. Owning a rental machine or a subscription machine is no longer a taboo in our country. They feel it's convenient. As long as convenience is there, they want to own one. So given the fact that our air cooling business and our kitchen business is also going to expand this year, we believe that what we achieved in 23-24, we will repeat it, if not better it this year.
No plans for bottled water like this one?
Not really, because that's something what we are pitching against when we say water as a service, because we are actually installing our electrical water purifiers at the homes of the consumers. So we don't have any intentions.
To do opposite of that.
Yeah, we don't want to do opposite of that. We want the Indian consumers to actually leave the water bottle to the big jars and consume water through the electrical water purifiers directly. And because you can be assured of all the minerals, copper ingredients, magnesium, calcium, which possibly, I don't want to say, could be missing in this bottled water as
All
such.
right.
Yeah.
Mr. Rakesh Kaul, thank you very much, sir, for taking time out. Thank you for being here out of your busy schedule to share your plans about LivPure. We'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. And with that, it's time for a short, quick commercial break. Remember, there are around 6 lakh Indian voters who are over 100 years old. These centenarians have witnessed the struggle for independence and the partition. From voting in the first election of independent India to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, their enthusiasm to vote continues to inspire. Newsline Plus, the world's first news OTT, brings you 100 and Voting. Catch the documentary tonight only on Newsline Plus app. Stay ahead of the curve.
Start with the end in mind. You need to know where you want to reach. Every morning that we wake up, we are exercising our choice. The destiny is decided. The results are known that I'm going to win. Life of a goalkeeper is something which has always intrigued me. When you come into a stadium, this is the highest level of pressure. When I set out to do something, I decide in my mind that failure is not an option.
What you feel very strongly about, those are the stories to tell.
I have a mind which is absolutely restless. Mind and body are entangled sensations. That brings me back to golf. It's an amazing game.
This is not a perfect game. You only learn from them.
If you have a formula to a success, then you can replicate it.
I feel this is my first step. I'm starting now.
Winner is first born in the mind. I think, therefore I am. We are all about our mind.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
We are trying a lot of experiments, innovations and ideas.
We came out with a new format in audio, which is audio series.
Listening for content-oriented company in India, which is a very unique proposition.
When we look at audio in general, we had music, which is like extremely old format, and then we had podcasts.
A natural extension to Pocket FM is to move from Hindi to regional content. I think I'd love to see their FY24 numbers, which they claim will be close to 1,000 crores. I think there are talks of them to raise another $80 to $100 million of funding.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Plus. Elon Musk has postponed his planned visit to India. Tesla chief Elon Musk said that he has in fact postponed his planned visit due to very heavy Tesla obligations. A day before his visit was expected to begin, Musk, who owns Tesla and SpaceX, was to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his two-day visit and announce investment plans for his businesses here in India. Now, Elon Musk was expected to announce $2 to $3 billion worth investment in India, with his visit likely to mark breakthroughs for both Tesla as well as Starlink in India. Tesla, remember, is looking for newer markets amid sales slowdown in the US and China. India is among potential markets for Tesla, especially after the government lowered taxes on imported cars of companies that invest locally here in India. So what's really happening in Tesla? Why did Elon Musk cancel that visit? Let's talk about that. Karthik Malhotra joining me here in the studio. Karthik, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
It does look like Elon is not coming after all.
Well, Elon has not said he's not going to come. He has definitely postponed his scheduled visit, which was due to have started today until end of this year. Now, end of this year could mean anything, from after elections, once the new government comes to office, to as late as maybe, Q3 for India. So we really don't know what end of the year means, except for the fact that it means a very, very vague decision of not coming to India. Now, let's look at some of the reasons what could have led to these very heavy obligations at Tesla, which prevented Elon Musk from taking that flight and arriving here in India. So, to look at a larger perspective of electric markets, especially in the US in this calendar year, between Jan to March has sold as many as almost 270,000 electric cars, right? That's a big number. But the problem is that segment has grown at a very small 2.6% only. So this segment, while it has grown, the rate of growth is not what it was anticipated. Now, what you've noticed is that in a growing segment, even though it's a slow growth of only 2.6%, Tesla's own market share in the US in electric cars has slid from about 62% 1 year ago to about 51% now. Which means there is a little small uptick in electric cars, but that uptick is not enjoyed by Tesla. It is rather enjoyed by competitors. So hence Tesla's slowdown has actually turned out to be an advantage for rivals. And when we talk about these rivals, the first one on this rival list, of course, is BYD. So BYD is the main Chinese-owned electric manufacturer which makes low-cost cars and also compelled Tesla to lower its own selling price in the US and elsewhere in the world. But BYD is not the only gainer in Tesla's loss. You've got the American pure play rival Ford as well as Rivian really raking up double-digit growth as high as about 83% to 86% for both these players. In addition to Hyundai and the more expensive Mercedes and BMW, as well as the low-cost Kia, all of these growing in double digits at a time when Tesla is losing market share. There are other problems that Elon Musk is facing, and that again stems from the fact that not enough electric cars, not enough Tesla cars are being sold. And that has prompted Elon Musk to take a fairly significant price-cutting initiative to rid the company of about 10% of the total jobs. So from about 140,000 employees of Tesla, about 14,000 employees are likely to lose their jobs. And that 14,000 is, of course, a fairly significant number. So the question that it obviously, raises is that is there an overall degrowth likely to happen in the electric mobility space, and that growth that was anticipated could get clipped fairly significantly. So, these are some of the reasons which have led to Tesla's share also tanking. By how much, I'll tell you, because that is a fairly large number. We'll come to that towards the end of end of this conversation. But Tesla electric vehicles, the cars, is one part of the problem. The other problem is the Cybertruck. Now, if you remember, the Cybertruck was supposed to be, this really hard-bodied, bulletproof, sort of an armored vehicle-looking truck which was launched by Elon Musk, and a simple stone had first shattered the windshields. But that problem got rectified. It led to other problems. For example, one gentleman took his Cybertruck, $80,000 rupee worth Cybertruck, to a car wash. And once it was washed, it was pretty much washed away of all the electronics, and the car refused to, or the truck refused to get ignited again. So obviously, there are engineering problems with that. Now, specifically in the Indian context, there is one gentleman whose exit has been fairly significant. This perhaps was part of that 10% cost reduction, employee reduction that we had spoken of earlier. But Rohan Patel, who was working for the last 8 years with Tesla, with Elon Musk as a vice president for public policy, and somebody who was instrumental in Tesla designing and the talks of a low cost made in India for India Tesla car, the person who was pretty much at the helm of those decisions and those negotiations with the Indian government was Rohan Patel. And Rohan Patel quit on the 15th of April. So again, the message that goes out is that perhaps Elon Musk was never looking at India very seriously. Why would you let a key cog in your overall negotiations leave the company just days ahead of your visit to India? Now, in the middle of all this, there's a personal problem also that Elon Musk is battling, and that personal problem is a fairly large multi-billion-dollar problem worth about $56 billion, which Elon Musk expects as payout and is awaiting shareholder approval. Now, remember, a Delaware court had actually called this whole agreement, this contract, void, and said it's not going to go through, and there is no way that Elon Musk should get those $56 billion. Now, in a retort to that, Elon Musk wants to now move the headquarters of Tesla from Delaware to Texas. So, so trying all the loopholes possible to get himself his $56 million. I told you the stock had taken a beating. By how much? And this chart tells you. This chart is just showing you the last trading session on Friday when markets in the US were open. But if you were to look at this chart over a 5-year horizon, at a peak in November 2021, Tesla stock was trading at about $407 a piece. On Friday, it is down to a little over $147. So almost a 60% decline in Tesla's market cap, market value from its peak in 2021 to now in 2024. So all of these pretty much ask one question, and that question is that does Elon Musk have the financial muscle and the shareholder support to divest, reinvest and expand its market? And is Elon Musk really looking at India seriously?
Absolutely, and a plethora of issues that he is dealing with, a multitude of problems, none of which is, of course, India's plans for EV growth. That, of course, continues to be on track, minus Elon Musk, who has postponed his visit to India. We don't know till when, we don't know by how, but he's not coming as of today. That's the news coming in. With that, it's a wrap on this show. Thank you very much for watching.
Film and entertainment is definitely one of the levers for any country to build its brand.
We are getting global. I feel that we're just on the takeoff.